we are going to start recording, and we are on Facebook Live as well. And I want to thank everyone for joining us. I'm so excited to host our launch of the 2021 Lieutenant Governor's Computing Challenge. As chair of the Governor's Council on Women and Girls, promoting girls in education and specifically STEAM, this is a top priority for the governor and I. Last year, we launched the first Lieutenant Governor's Computing Challenge, and we were thrilled to have 370 entries with nearly 500 students participating from across Connecticut. For this year's challenge, we have added 2 additional levels to submit entries, and we are encouraging community organizations to work with students, particularly in communities that were less involved last year. Our challenge is supported by some amazing companies and groups, and they are Google, AT&T Connecticut, Infosys Foundation USA, Microsoft, Girl Scouts of Connecticut, Million Women Mentors, Ed Advance, the YWCA, Girls Who Code, Girls for Technology, and the Connecticut State College and University System. Shortly, you're going to be hearing from some of our supporters, and I want to let you know that the theme for this year's Computing Challenge is Coding for Good. 3rd through 12th graders are encouraged to create applications designed to spread messages of positivity, tackle important issues, or promote healthy habits. Similar to last year, students can submit an idea. This year, students have additional options of submitting a prototype or a fully developed application. Students may work individually or as a team, and they may work through their school or with the support of community organization volunteers. We have stepped it up a few notches from this year's challenge, and I'm looking forward to the thoughtful and creative entries. The State Department of Education has taken the lead in coordinating the Council on Women and Girls efforts. And we're particularly grateful for the work of Jennifer Michalek, education consultant, who has spearheaded bringing the challenge together, and the leadership of our Commissioner Miguel Cardona was critical as well. We're so pleased to have Commissioner Cardona here with us today to offer some remarks on behalf of the State Department of Education. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that this moment is bittersweet for us, because it's one of our last opportunities to welcome Commissioner Cardona as commissioner rather than addressing him as cabinet secretary when he becomes confirmed as Secretary of the United States Department of Education. So Commissioner Cardona, we're so proud of you, and we're going to miss you when you leave Connecticut, but we know you're going to be serving us at a higher level. And Commissioner Cardona, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And very nice to be here. I'm so glad to be here with you this morning. Lieutenant Governor, your support, your leadership on this is inspirational. This wouldn't happen if it weren't for your drive and for your passion, not only with the Governor's Council on Women and Girls, but just your passion in education. And you are a friend to our students across the state, and your efforts to champion great causes like this one is something that I so appreciate as Commissioner of Education and as a father, as an educator. Thank you for what you're doing to really bring education to where it should be, right? So you mentioned Jennifer Michalek. She's been great. She's really making sure that the trains run on schedule, as they say. I also want to acknowledge Director Tim Larson, who supports the Education and STEAM subcommittee of the council. This is critically important work. You know, we know how the pandemic has affected us. We know, I mean, we've been talking about this, and rightfully so, to make sure we recover. But this is an example of how opportunity can come out of crisis. This is an example where, you know, we can take what we've learned, what we've experienced collectively as a state, and turn it into something where we can benefit from it. And then, so there's opportunity out of crisis, number one. But number two, I love how this is really putting the students at the forefront. It's saying, hey, we don't want to tell you what to do. We want to hear from you how we can recover together. And we're really putting the students at the center. That's what I love about this challenge. We're putting the students at the center. And you know, any educator, you ask them, when you put the students at the center and you give them a platform and you get out of their way, amazing things happen. Amazing things happen. And I was privileged last challenge to hear from 10 of the finalists, 10 examples of where our students' innovation and passion really came out. 372 entries. I know this year we're going to get more. I know it. And I know that the Lieutenant Governor will not settle for anything less than that. So I'm confident that it's going to happen, thanks to your leadership and the support that we have across the state. I'm encouraged at what our students produced, and it really just shows us that when we give students an opportunity to share their talents, their passion for computer science, their passion for technology, and their passion for serving others. I don't want that to get lost in the process. The technology is a platform through which they can serve others. Our students are so good at that, and we're giving them an opportunity to do this. So for the educators that are listening, for the school leaders that are listening, for the superintendents that are listening, what a great opportunity to engage your students in something where they're serving others. We recover, we heal together when we serve others. And for our students that are into developing apps, and even for our students that are not into developing apps, but are into serving others, please use this as an opportunity to do that. I look forward to seeing the outcomes of these projects that the students do. And I know that when we embrace these projects, our state is going to be better. So thank you for, number one, the opportunity to speak here this morning. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor, for your passion and your leadership around this. And Jen, thank you for all the great work that you're doing to make sure that our districts know what's going on and that we're nudging them, because you know, among the million things that they're doing, prioritizing this is critical. So thank you to everyone on the panel, everyone who's worked hard to make this happen. I look forward to seeing the outcome of the great work of our students and to supporting this work no matter where I am. So thank you, Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. And you make some really important points. First, on student leadership and having the students be at the forefront of our recovery process. And we saw the 10 amazing ideas that were put forward by students. We had a high school student from Ridgefield that literally had made a website cataloging all of the different COVID-19 testing sites, which was incredible. And thousands and thousands of people use that website to find out where they should go get a test. We had other students that created apps that would let you know if you came within 6 feet of another person, because social distancing was important. And we had middle school students that created fun art projects and projects that students to do at home when they might be feeling isolated or lonely or bored or in need of something engaging to do. So we just can't wait to see what students are going to come up with. And again, the challenge is coding for good. So COVID-19 is going to be a focus, but we're also opening it up, and it's a little bit broader this time because we want students to tell us what other suggestions they have. And I can't wait to hear what those are. And you're right, Commissioner, we do want more students to participate. We had 500 students participate when we announced the first ever challenge at the end of the school year. Literally, we announced it in May for the results that were announced in June. So we think with a little more runway time, we're going to have more than 1,000, hopefully several thousand students participate this year. And finally, before I introduce John Emra, I do want to mention this because I think that you will find that people on our Council of Women and Girls, and Commissioner, thank you for participating on it, are passionate about this project because we know this, that women are 50% of the workforce, yet only 24% of the STEM jobs are held by women, right? So only less than a quarter of the STEM jobs are held by females right now. So this is our challenge for our youth. We want our girls and young women to be studying STEM subjects and hopefully get involved in STEM careers because they are high paying, and that will help us address the problem of pay equity and the gender gap that exists there as well. So with that, I am so proud to introduce one of our corporate partners. We have been blessed to have some philanthropic donors, and AT&T was the first company to step up and offer financial support for the 2021 challenge. And we're so fortunate to have with us today the president of AT&T New England, Mr. John Emra. John, thank you so much for joining us today and for your support.
Thank you very much, Lieutenant Governor. Good morning. Thanks so much for the passion you bring to this subject, and thank you to you and to the rest of the members of the Council on Women and Girls. We very much share your commitment to STEM education and its importance. As a technology company, we very much believe that technology has the power to better people's lives, improve communities, and drive societal change. But frankly, the only way that really happens is to make sure that we bring STEM technology to diverse groups and audiences, right? We don't want it just to be about privileged few. So nationally, in the last 5 years, we've given about $30 million to STEM programs across the country. And we believe that efforts to bring more women of color into the STEM field are hugely important, right? Having those diverse voices can really make a huge difference here. So we're really excited by the program. As you mentioned, we were one of the first supporters of this year's coding challenge. We're so happy to do it. I look forward to having, and seeing the work that all these participants put into it. I love the fact that you've tied the idea of computing challenge to societal good. I think that is fantastic, right? If some of the ugliness that came out of the last year is a realization that we need to do more to drive societal change, then something good has come out of that. And I think this is a great example of it. So Lieutenant Governor, thanks so much for your passion. As I said, Commissioner, thank you so much to you. Good luck in your new role. I think we're all incredibly proud of you and look forward to the program. Thank you.
John, thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it. AT&T has been a partner on this issue, but on so many others, and the governor and I are so grateful for everything that you are doing. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Kate Maloney. She is the executive director of the Infosys Foundation USA, and Infosys is very excited about encouraging more young women and girls to pursue careers in computer science and STEM. And Infosys has been an incredible corporate partner with Governor Lamont and I, especially as we tackle issues of workforce development. So Kate, thank you so much for joining us, and please say a few words about the computing challenge.
Sure, thank you, Lieutenant Governor, and so nice to be with everyone. Yes, the Infosys Foundation USA is thrilled to be a part of this for the first time. Our foundation is exclusively committed to increasing access to computer science and maker education for K-12 students and teachers. So this is the perfect opportunity to promote more girls feeling that they can be creators of technology. And like you said, coming up with solutions to social challenges in their midst. And then ultimately, we hope that they feel empowered and inspired to pursue STEM careers. We also are devoted to our teachers. And we know that what happens in a classroom, even if it is virtual, is where the spark of an idea and inspiration can come. So particular to this challenge, we are supporting teachers and their involvement in this program and want to make sure that we have that duality going, student to teacher. So like you said, Susan, at the top of the call, looking forward to seeing what the solutions are that all of the students come up with, and we'll be on the journey with all of you until June. Thank you so much.
That is great. Thank you so much, Kate. And I will tell you, we had such incredible submissions. Our DMV commissioner was ready to hire some of these students right away, even though they hadn't even gotten through high school. So there are going to be some amazing ideas coming out of this. And I now like to introduce Carolyn Alessi. Carolyn is the state of Connecticut's working chair on Million Women Mentors, a national movement aimed at mentoring young girls and women in STEM education and career opportunities. And I have the great pleasure of being the Connecticut co-chair of Million Women Mentors with Carolyn. Carolyn, thank you so much for what you do to mentor students. And we'd love for you to say a few words, please.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Governor. It's a pleasure to serve next to you and to also be a strong partner with the Education and STEAM Subcommittee with Commissioner Larson. The Million Women Mentors movement is really just a way for us to really engage young girls and women in STEM fields. And so this challenge is very important for us to support because it gives us a springboard into being able to take these young girls who are entering into this competition to be able to provide them with mentoring and role modeling post-challenge, because we don't want it to be a one and done. We want them to be able to continue to foster their engagement and interest in STEM, and to be able to do that and persist, and eventually, as they go through their academic career and beyond, use that as a way to have a career at the end. And so role modeling and mentoring are very important to us in being able to make sure that we build that pipeline of women in career in STEM. And so we're excited to partner with the Lieutenant Governor with the Coding Challenge, and we look forward to seeing all these students who are going to participate in this. We really want to encourage the Black and Brown and Latina young girls to really enter into this challenge. I think it's so important for you to be involved, to be able to demonstrate your brilliance, to be able to stretch yourself. And so we hope that we will have stronger representation through some of our community partners engaging their young girls.
Thank you so much, Chair Alessi. Your comments are very well taken. And that's why we really wanted to engage other community partners like the YWCA so that we could make sure that we had participation from every community in our state, whether it's urban, suburban, or small town. So I am very delighted that through the work of the Council on Women and Girls, I have the great pleasure of working with our agency commissioners to advance our priorities. And I am very appreciative of the efforts of our Education and STEAM Subcommittee co-chairs, who are Tim Larson, the Higher Education Director, DMV Commissioner Bongi Magubane, and on behalf of the subcommittee, we have our Higher Ed Director, Tim Larson, to say a few words. Tim has been very passionate about this project, and we really appreciate the energy and enthusiasm that he brings for preparing our students for high-wage, high-skill STEM jobs. Tim. Oh, you need to get off mute.
Thank you very much, Lieutenant Governor. Thank you and the governor for your energy and your commitment to women and girls as we advance the cause here in Connecticut. I think we all know how technology affects our lives on a daily basis and how technology continues to change. Now more than ever, it's so important for girls and women to direct their talents into this vocation. Learning this skill will not only provide them with an understanding, but career opportunities for a really, really long time. And, last year we put our toe in the water, and now we're asking young girls and women to dive in and take a hold of this challenge and really get this thing going, because we really believe in the state of Connecticut. We have so many educational opportunities that are so important. We have such bright and intelligent women, and this is really an opportunity to accentuate that talent and bring it on home. No one has to look any further than Storrs, Connecticut, where women are champions year after year after year. We want to have that same celebration in this coding challenge. So best of luck to all of the participants. Let's get involved and let's dive in.
Excellent. We really appreciate that, Executive Director Larson. And we appreciate all the work that you and Commissioner Magubane have done to help us get ready. And we also appreciate the community organizations who have supported the challenge, and appreciate the work that the YWCA, the Girl Scouts of Connecticut, and Girls of Code and other community organizations are going to do to help us ensure that girls from every part of the state and boys from every part of the state participate. We are looking forward to showcasing the student challenge, and we encourage all of our partners to get the message out about coding for good. And so now we have a very robust media presence with us today, and I am going to ask our media partners who join us from both the television and the print media to put any questions that they might have for any of our guests into the chat function. And while we're waiting on those questions, I do want to mention a couple of challenges that we have within the coding challenge. And it's that one thing we noticed is that we had 50-50 participation from boys and girls up through the 5th grade. Half of our participants were girls, half were boys. And we noticed, though, after 5th grade, we started to see more boys participating than girls. So we want to just highlight that, because honestly, this happens. We see this for adults. We see it in the statistic that I mentioned. 50% of our workforce is women, but only 24% of our STEM jobs are held by women. So we want to make sure that girls in every grade are participating, and that girls are exposed to careers in coding and technology, and that we will soon see a 50-50 representation of women compared to men in the STEM fields. So I am looking. I do not see any questions in the chat function, which means that our amazing speakers have done a very tremendous job in explaining the challenge. And if anybody has any questions in particular about the challenge, they can always reach out to Jen Michalik at the State Department of Education. We want to thank all of our participants for their collaboration and support. And with that, we want to thank everybody for joining us, and we will see you again next time. Thank you so much, everyone.